Hey students, today's lesson is on percents. Let's go ahead and start with some key ideas. To write a percent as a decimal, remove the percent symbol, then divide by 100, or just move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So in this example, we have 23%. We can drop the percent symbol and then move the decimal point, which would be after the 3, and move it over to right before the 2. Let's look at a couple examples where we're writing percents as decimals. So 52% as a decimal, we're going to drop the percent symbol and move the decimal point over 2 places, so we have 0.52. When we think about 52%, that's about 50%, which would be 0.5. 100% would be 1. We can also look at a diagram here showing 0.52 or 52%. Here's 100 squares, a 10 by 10 grid, and 52 of them are shaded. That's a little over half, 52%. For the next example, we have 7%, so we're going to drop the percent symbol, and this time, in order to move the decimal point over 2 places, we actually have to add a 0. So the decimal point goes from after the 7 to over here, 0.07. Let's look at another key idea. To write a decimal as a percent, you're going to multiply by 100 or just move the decimal point over 2 places to the right and add a percent symbol. So we're doing just the opposite of what we did from percents to decimals. So let's look at an example. We have 0.47 and we want to write this as a percent. We're going to move the decimal point over 2 places, get 47, and it's 47%, a little bit less than half. Here we have 0.663 as a percent. When we move the decimal point over 2 places, we have 66.3%. Not all percents are to the nearest whole percent. Sometimes you would have a decimal within a percent. That's fine, 66.3%. Here we have 1.8 as a percent. Remember that 1 is 100%, so 1.8 is going to be more than 100%. We move the decimal point over 2 places, and we have 180%. And then the last one here, 0.009. When we move the decimal point over 2 places, we have 0.9%. So this is a little less than 1%. Let's look at our next example where we're going to write a fraction as a percent and a decimal. So it says on a math test, you get 92 out of 100 points, 92 over 100. Which of the following is not another way of expressing 92 out of 100? So let's take a look here. 23 over 25, if we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 4, we get 80 plus 12, 92 over 100. So this is another way of writing 92 over 100. 92% is also another way of writing 92 out of 100. 92% is 0.92, which is 92 hundredths, 92 over 100. 17 out of 20, to make this over 100, we need to multiply by 5. Let's see, 5 times 10 is 50, 5 times 7 is 35, so this is 85 out of 100, which is not the same thing. And 0.92 is, of course, the same thing. So here's our one that does not belong. All right, one more example here. Here we have this figure that shows the portions of ultraviolet or UV rays that are reflected by 4 different surfaces: grass, sand, sea foam, and water. And their question is, how many times more UV rays are reflected by water than sea foam? So as we are looking at this, it appears that water is more reflective than the sea foam. That makes sense. We can see sunlight being reflected off of water. But we just need to figure out how much more. So let's convert both of these to decimals. We have one that's a percent and one that's in a fraction form. Let's put them both as decimals and then we can compare. So 25% is 0.25. 21 over 25, let's make it a fraction over 100, which will make it easy to convert to a decimal. So if we multiply by 4 on the top and the bottom, we have 84 out of 100, or 0.84. Okay, so we can just mentally say this is more than 3 times as reflective, right? If we think of the 0.25 as like a quarter, 3/4 would be 0.75. This is more than that. So it's more than 3 times as reflective, but less than 4 times as reflective. So let's go ahead and just divide 0.84 divided by 0.25. We'll move the decimal point over 2 places in both numbers, so we're not dividing by a decimal. Let me move over so I've got a little more space here. So I'm going to do 84 divided by 25. 25 goes into 84 3 times, just like we estimated. We have 75. We have a 9. I'm going to put a decimal right here. Bring down our 0. 25 goes into 90 3 times. That's 75. We have 15. We'll add another 0. And then 25 goes into 150 exactly 6 times. So it's 3.36 times as reflective. All right, that's it. Go ahead and try a few on your own, and I will see you soon.